Good morning. I'm here to give you an update on the FBI's investigation of Secretary Clinton. What I want to do is tell you what we're recommending. But first, let me tell you what we found. 110 emails in 52 email chains have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it make?
8 of those chains are top secret, 36 of those chains secret, and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Everything I did was admitted. There was no law, no regulation.
Secretary Clinton should have known that an unclassified system was no place for that conversation.
I did not email any classified material to anyone on my email.
None of these emails should have been on any kind of unclassified system, not even Gmail.
Well, first of all, nothing was marked classified.
To the contrary,
Nothing was marked classified.
there is evidence of
Nothing was
tremendous amount,
Nothing was
tremendous
marked
amount.
classified.
Now let me tell you what we found.
Oh my God.
110 emails.
It was not the best choice.
52 email chains
It was the mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are top
It wasn't
secret.
the best choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it
With
make?
respect to our recommendation, this is going to be an unusual statement in at least a couple of days. Although there is evidence, our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. I know there will be intense public debate. What difference at this point does it make? 110 emails.
It wasn't the best choice.
52 email chains
I made a mistake.
have been determined to contain classified information.
What difference at this point does it
8
make?
of those chains are
It
top
was not a
secret.
good choice.
36 of those chains
I said it was a mistake.
and 8 contain confidential information.
What difference at this point does it make?
Political correctness is a manifestation of lack of fucking self-esteem because you're all cunts. Because you cunts all want everybody to love you. I don't want anybody to love me. I don't want anybody to even fucking like me. Do you think Donald Trump gives a shit what you think of him? Do you think Steve Jobs, when he was alive, gave a shit? Do you think Mark Zuckerberg gives a shit? Political correctness is a manifestation of lack of fucking self-esteem because you're all cunts.
Honey, someone's going to the house. Someone's going to the house. What do we do? What do we do? What do we do?
Who are you calling the pops? I'm gonna call the pops.
We're recording you.
No. It's okay. I'm just your neighbor. Coming by to say howdy.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, we're not used to people stopping by to say howdy without assaulting us first, robbing us, or defecating on our lawn.
Sometimes all three.
The trifecta. We're from Los Angeles.
Just moved to Texas.
I figured.
Oh, the California plates?
Well, yeah, and the masks. Inside your own house. No one else around. 2022.
We just want to be extra safe.
We feel naked without masks.
We'll probably wear them for the rest of our lives.
We'll be buried in them.
Okay. Well, you seem like a lovely couple. Like I said, I just wanted to drop by and welcome you to the neighborhood.
Why? Do you want something?
Oh, no. They're, I think he's being friendly. People around here are friendly, like we've seen in the movies, right?
I thought that was just make-believe, like superheroes or families that go to church.
No, that's a myth. This is real life.
So, I live in that house over yonder. Name's Kevin.
Hi, Kevin. I'm Tiffany. She, her.
And I'm Steve, he, him.
What are your pronouns?
I don't believe in pronouns. I think they're reductive. In fact, just your asking about it is a microaggression.
Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. I'm just messing with you. I like all pronouns. My favorite is you.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Exactly. So, if you need anything, just holler. My wife and I'd be happy to help.
Baby, he has a gun.
I'm calling the cops.
I'm recording you.
No.
Recording
It's
you.
okay.
All right, has anyone noticed this trend among some of our government experts lately? It starts off with them telling you a thing. If you question the thing, you will be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. It then turns out later that the thing that they told you wasn't quite as true as they promised you it would be. And when you point this out, they revert to telling you that, well, they never told you the thing that they told you. And then when you show them incontrovertible proof that they did in fact tell you the thing that they told you, they just suggest that you should be mocked, ridiculed, and potentially censored. I can't imagine why we don't trust these guys.
If you're so confused and disoriented that you don't know where you are or where you're going, there are predators of the spirit who are much worse than snakes that are waiting in wait for you. And the probability that you'll move from aimless, hopeless, joyless anxiety to nihilism, corrosive bitterness, and genocidal fantasy in the fundamental extreme is very high. And so that's possession by a predator of the spirit in the desert of the soul. And that's real.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this food. Thank you so much for my beautiful girls. Let this food bless our bodies and keep us safe. In Son's name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Hey y'all, how's everybody doing? Hey Anna. Hey Stephanie. Hey Patrick. Hey Jen. Hey Ridge Runner. Hey Frank. Hey Sharon. Let's see, and that covers everybody except the ones not talking. Hey y'all. Links out. Anybody wants to come up? Bonnie says she should be here in a minute. There's Carl. Hey Carl.
What's up?
Hey Hawk. Hey Gina. Same old. Bonnie got a hold of me. Nobody's on. Everybody's bored. Do it live. Hey Garrett.
Yeah, I heard she voluntold you.
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
I gotta do something. We gotta get rid of the echo. Though. Can I have a minute?
Hold on, let me see. Who?
Oh, both of y'all are echoing.
All right, got a minute? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Anna. Happy birthday to you.
You've been voluntold.
Yeah.
Oh, I told Chuck I said that.
So what's going on, guys?
I talk.
Yeah, Bonnie's like, we're bored. Start a live now.
I sent a bunch of bored people out here.
Did you tell her you didn't find a $20 bill in your pocket?
She goes, I gotta pee. I'll be there in a minute. Start it up.
God, you just tell everything.
I was just joking. Damn, you're fessing up to it. Hey, y'all.
Hey, Tennessee. Working man in the house.
Gotta go.
I thought about starting a live since way earlier, but it seemed like everybody else was on, and I try not to crowd. So.
Yeah, Indy had a good show tonight.
Just do it.
Hawk told me a long time ago, you shouldn't give a shit who's on if you want to go live.
That's right.
I agree 100%.
Yep.
I mean, you can have your
You know,
loyalty.
think about it. Some people get on just for conversation. Other people get on and they have a topic, something that's going on that day that needs to be brought to the people's attention. So yes, you can't. I understand a certain point of respect. To allow other people to get their information out there. But if all they're doing is just sitting back having regular chit chat, and they're not, covering something that's essential for the American people, then, brother, you just step out and do it. That to me, that's what it's all about.
I tell them all, Bonnie's all about her gathering around the fire, and I'm kind of like we're all sitting at the end of the pier talking, and we talk about whatever comes up or whatever's going on. And
Well, I mean, it's like there's a certain point where where people become over inundated with information. And sometimes people just need time to clear their mind. you know, just to have regular conversation, you know. But again, you know, when it comes to those topics and things, those are the things that are going to move us in a direction to save our country instead of just saving our wasted time or you know, our now space or whatever you want to call it, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I've been hearing that a lot, that term, for like the last 2 weeks. Now space. This is my now space. Is your now space any different than my space? Well, no, but it's your now space, not my now space. And I'm like, dude, shut the fuck up.
Right. That's what I was thinking.
Hi, everybody.
Yeah, I was just talking to my cousin, and she's talking about our other cousin, her sister. She's been in a home for a while. She got divorced, and she got in depression bad, gained a bunch of weight. Told me she fell out of bed the other day and dislocated her shoulder, broke her femur, and she's already needing a knee and a hip replacement, and they won't do nothing about it till she loses weight, which she was until she fell. Now she's gained 50 pounds.
Oh my.
Yeah, that too. You know, you think about it. You know, depression alone, just depression. You think about it. The word itself weighs about 20 pounds.
Yeah.
Just the word depression weighs about 20 pounds. Okay, and when a person suffers from it from a long period of time, they're bound to gain weight. Either they're going to gain weight or they're going to starve themselves. One of the two. You know. So until you get rid of that 20-pound demon called depression first, weight loss is going to be inconsequential.
Yeah. All of it, quitting smoking, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her, I said, main thing is you can't let it eat at you. I was there with it, and if you can't do something about whatever's going on with you now or fix it tomorrow or the next day, don't dwell on it because it'll kill you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if I can give you a topic, you know, I'll tell you, I've been covering a lot of different news over these last like 9 days. I think it is, and unfortunately, Dee, we're going to have to talk about your state. Yeah, seeing what's going on in San Francisco and LA with the fentanyl stuff.
Yeah, it's a mess. Yeah.
This is really bad.
It's up here too. It's up here too.
Oh, it hasn't made its way up.
Yeah,
okay.
Because, Pelican Bay Prison is only an hour and a half north of where that's Del Norte County. So I'm in between that prison and San Francisco. So yeah, it's here. You're San Francisco, you might as well throw on.
I was talking with my buddy Johnny D. He does a podcast called Smoking with Johnny D. You know, basically he'll sit on screen and do you know, smoke a couple of bongs with people, you know, talk about weed, you know, talk about what's, you know, different things locally and stuff like that. But one of the things that he said was heroin is kind of going out the window in Portland, and this new drug is coming in. And he says it's like this is getting to be really bad, you know, I mean, really, really bad, you know, to the point where, you know, you have to be cautious about going into someplace and picking something up because it could be covered with this crap.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
I heard they were mixing it with Xanax, other medications that you would normally maybe trust a little.
They put it on dollar bills. They put it on dollar bills and pieces of paper, and then they put it under your windshield wiper.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you think about the old days, you know, rolling up the dollar bill to snort a line of Coke. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. It was one thing to have a little bit of Coke on your dollar bill.
Yeah.
But think about this drug in comparison, you know, and you're going to pass that on to somebody else, you know, because after you do it out and you do this and you think you got it all clean, you put it back in your pocket and you're walking into a store and you're giving it to some teenager behind the counter, you know, or something like that. And it's like, whoa.
You hear somebody's grandma.
Yeah.
Damn, I need some money.
And some people, it's like instant death.
Oh yeah, that's why Steph says she carries 2 doses of Narcan with her, and she had to save someone, pull it out last week, and use one of her. Or both
And the
of
thing
them.
is you don't even know if Narcan is actually going to work.
Yeah.
It's not 100% effective with this particular drug.
Yeah,
With
that one scare.
heroin is like it's like an 85% success, rate, of using that drug, but with this one here, it's only like 12 to 15%.
You heard about that sheriff that they had to hit 7 times in a helicopter on the way to the hospital with the Narcan because he just bumped the door panel with his elbow and got it on him, and he went into whatever OD from it. They
What would
hit
that
him
stuff do to fish?
once on the ground, brought him out of seizure. They got the helicopter there, and then it was 6 or 7 more times in the helicopter before they got him to the hospital. They had to hit him with it again.
What do you think that stuff would do to fish and wildlife?
How much would they have to put in the water system to where it affect people?
Yeah. Yeah.
We've seen those Streets of Philadelphia videos, right? Where those freaking zombies or we got zombies here too. It's sad. It's real sad.
And that's it's when you so literally when you think about the concept, the Night of the Night of the Living Dead, you could actually surmise what the author of that originally was.
Every zombie movie, dude. Every zombie movie, like at this point, really.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's fucking walking zombies. I'm sorry, but they are. It's just like, and they're.
Okay, I'm getting to feel guilty here. I just want to say hello to all the good people that are here in chat. I'm just going to make it easy.
Thank you. Yes.
We love chat. We love you all. You all know that.
So y'all want to hear
call out your
the
name.
headline
Sure. Sure.
from Texas?
Sure.
People are going from El Paso over the border to purchase eggs at a cheaper price.
Oh,
So now they're egg smugglers and they're getting arrested. But look what else can come over here. Yeah. Smuggling
You think
eggs.
about it. You could take anything you want with you across the border, but you're not supposed to bring anything back.
Yeah.
There you go. Tony Montana.
That's a good one. Oh yeah. That's a good one. It's the shit right there. If you got eggs, you got chickens, you're kind of the shit right now.
I just
Jeff Riddle.
couldn't believe it when I saw that.
Yeah, chickens are our meth labs of the country now.
Of everything that's coming in, they're worrying about the damned eggs. Come on. Excuse my language. Sorry.
Eggs are a great source of protein. Remember the incredible edible egg.
Yes.
Who remembers that?
I'm starting to think chickens are going to inherit the earth.
Remember when they told us that the egg yolks were going to be the death of all Americans for the cholesterol that it carries? And oh, Jesus.
That's when I stopped believing them. I was like, you know what?
I stopped believing them back in the 70s when they said that we'd be out of oil by 1981.
Right.
Okay. And then they told us that the world was going to burn up in the 80s, and then it was going to freeze in the 90s.
And 2000 was the end.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Y2K.
Yeah.
That was going to be the end of all computers. The end of all technology was going to be Y2K.
It was going to be the end of the
Hawk,
world.
this has been the longest apocalypse ever.
Yeah.
It's been going on for like 5,000 years.
They just wait a generation or half or something like that, and then turn around and change the narrative to something else for the same old thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's true. Recycle it.
Hell, y'all remember when they were pushing margarine and the butter's bad for you. Now the doctors say eat butter, don't eat margarine.
Yeah, and I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, I wish I didn't use canola oil so much. I use some shit I wish I didn't know. That's just straight up petroleum. Don't use canola oil.
Yeah, they use canola. As a derivative, they use it for poison. The canola tree.
Sick.
Like, yeah, I want to fry my eggs in that.
County industry source.
I don't know if you guys have noticed when you go into hospitals, they put you on a liquid diet. First food they put you back on is usually scrambled eggs, whole food, real food.
Yeah. All these ranchers around me live to be 80s, 90s.
Yeah.
And every morning they eat eggs, sausage, bacon, pancakes, whatever is thrown out there, biscuits, they eat it.
A lot of coffee to start the day and end the day.
Yep, and coffee. Coffee thermos with them.
Butter, baby. No soy oil. No, I never use soy oil.
Hey, Stephanie, I know you're bored. Jump up here.
Oh, come on, girl. Quit. Aren't you sick of typing? Shit. You know you are. You know you are. It's pinned at the top, isn't it? The link is pinned at the top.
Gary, I heard about that.
Zach Brown band. I don't know anything about that. I didn't even follow the Crowder stuff.
Yeah, they got rid of Ticketmaster off their tour.
Wow.
So they went their independent sales now, which is actually going to give them 1/3 more of all proceeds they bring in for every concert.
Yeah, because now they just buy the venue. Sorry.
What's that?
So now they just buy the venue instead of having to do all the other part and lose everything.
Exactly. You know, and it's and the thing is with that is they also had a separation with one of the labels because the label was forcing Ticketmaster on a lot of these artists, and you know, and Ticketmaster was also responsible, one of the responsible ones for mandatory masks during concerts and things like that. You know, yeah, they wouldn't give an artist a venue if they weren't willing to fall under all the substandards that Ticketmaster put out.
Kung Fu Fighters, that guy died. Who else, you know?
Yep.
Does the big guy still get 10%?
Stephanie.
Hey kids, how you doing?
He's going to get, the big guy is going to get 10% of Gorgeous George as soon as he heads up to the prison. So.
Yeah, Ticketmaster's part of BlackRock.
Wow.
I'm all the way off.
Did y'all hear about all the major corporations laying off thousands of people? Amazon, all those.
Well, you know, but you think about the evil of Bezos himself. You know, I understand how easy it is to purchase through Amazon and everything else, but the fact of the matter is you're purchasing through them is supporting them and their whims.
Yes,
you know,
they just laid off 150,000.
Wow. Yep.
Hell, last year I think it was 200,000 employees that went away because of all the egg processing plants.
Well, you know, there's no I'm down here in the San Francisco Bay Area, the South Bay.
Yeah.
And eggs here, you can't even get them at Costco. A couple of weeks ago, you could get 2 18 packs at a time. That was it. But what people don't realize is that, you know, you've got all your grade A, AA, super big eggs, you know, they only put out there the fancy schmancy ones. But if you don't have chickens and you don't have eggs, what you can do is you can go to your local egg farm and you can buy the eggs. And if you call ahead of time, you can order up a bunch of eggs that have not been washed yet, and you can water blast them. And they'll last over a year if you water blast them. Then you just gotta make sure they're not washed.
I think it's up to 2 years water blast.
Is it 2 years? I heard 1, but 2 years, I'll take that too, you know?
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
As long as you keep switching out the water. And
Hell, you pack them in a lime mixture, and it's supposed to last, I don't know how long. They say they're almost like pickled. But
it takes me a month to go through a dozen eggs.
Hell, I eat 4 at a time at least when I eat them.
Yeah, but
Depends if they're doubled or not.
You know,
If
I
they're
don't eat
devils,
breakfast.
they're
So like if
history.
I'm making fried chicken or something like that, it's about the only time that I ever use eggs. You know, and that's pretty much it. Catfish and fried chicken. Those are the two things that I use it for. You know, but I've had a dozen last me in my fridge about 3.5 months.
Yeah.
Did you say
You
fried
know.
chicken? That's just
Yeah.
wrong. That's just wrong. You shouldn't
Why?
say that.
I know that Dakota. What came first, the chicken or the egg? Well, I know the chicken got covered by the egg twice.
Yeah.
Who's ever camped out for tickets? Who's ever camped out for tickets?
Oh, I have.
Sportsmaster for Grateful Dead tickets, Alpine Valley, Wisconsin. Yeah,
I will.
Going.
I'll throw myself out there. I'll throw myself out there.
I know you.
I camped out for tickets for New Kids on the Block.
Oh!
Wait. Understand why? Tickets were selling at $35 a piece. Scalpers were getting $500 to $1,000 a ticket. I got 400 tickets and got $500.
Guys, I'll
per
be right
ticket.
back. I gotta plug in.
Okay. Damn, you were hustling.
I only, all I did was get the tickets and a guy paid me for them immediately. And then he took them out on the street.
Hey, Jerry.
And they were gone. And they were both, the 3 front rows down there on the floor directly in front of the stage.
Oh,
Those were all the tickets that I got.
Wow.
But I camped out for 9 days.
What? Oh, I didn't do
9
that.
days
I
to
did
get
it
those
overnight.
tickets. Yep, 9 days.
Like 2 in the morning or something.
Yeah, but it was worth it. That was worth it. I ended up with a brand spanking new Ford F-250, and because of that. So, and that thing, I ran that thing into the ground. I ran it into the ground.
Oh man, Agent J.
Yep.
Link's up there, but dude, get up there if you want. Chuck
Yeah,
it.
I told him calling up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the name. It wasn't Fallout. What was that game that Pooh wanted and we went in there and they had a line for it?
Hi, Mary.
Borderlands.
You guys remember the Borderlands game first come out? We pre-ordered it. And when we went up there to pick our pre-order up, we were walking out. I got it for my son. He was like 4 at the time. And all these people, how much would he take for it? Not what do I want for it? How much will I take for it?
Yeah. There's a lot of.
It was like friggin' Teddy Ruxpin.
Yep.
I asked him what he wanted. He said anything. This one guy goes, I'll buy you Christmas for it. He goes, I told my son I'd get it. And because this was the only release they had at the time, then it was like 3 or 6 months before the next release came out.
They got the special edition.
I got him the special edition poster, all kind of stuff come with it. And they all, how much will you take for it?
Oh my gosh, that's great.
He go home and play it. So we just went to the car.
I never did a Black Friday, just saying. And I haven't even gone to town on a Black Friday for like probably 15 years.
I had been back in the States for a year, and I went to my first Black Friday.
Ugh.
And you want to talk about PTSD kicking in?
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Bad.
I remember watching women fight over Barbie doll heads, the one you put makeup on at Kmart Blue Light years ago. So I was like, yeah, I know what it's going to be like for those.
Pantyhose. They were going shit stir crazy over pantyhose.
What?
Those the ones in the egg. Remember the egg?
The great
Yeah. It's
yeah.
they,
I was brainwashed with all that shit.
yeah, they were like 35 cents a piece. And you saw freaking eggs flying everywhere. Flying everywhere. People were breaking the eggs open and stealing the pantyhose.
Bitches fighting over that? Oh my god.
Oh,
Hawk, I'll never forget this. When I was a kid, a farmer I was working for, he just out of the blue, we're like baling hay or something. He just stops and looks at me and says, you know, pantyhose ruined quickies, and then goes right back to work.
Hey, Zoom.
Whoa. Oh my goodness.
Either that or if it doesn't ruin them, it causes toes to curl.
See, I've never seen a fight over.
He just, the way he said it has stuck with me for 50 years. That's all.
It's like watching them go at it over a big screen TV.
I see it on TV where they do that.
Yeah.
People
Wait a
turn
minute, I need bigger programming. I need bigger programming.
people turn feral over stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Thank goodness I don't see that here.
Hey, where's Gunner at?
Yeah, my
Gunner
friend
is
dragged me to
Hey,
a
one
Black
second. I got one
Friday.
dog that's not in.
Had to be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, right when they opened, but it was crowded, but it wasn't like a mob standing outside the door waiting. There were people just trickling in, but nobody was fighting over anything. I can't imagine. I have bony elbows and they hurt.
It's crazy. I remember I went with my son-in-law, a couple of his friends, and a couple of my friends to a Walmart Black Friday. I'd been to a couple of them since Vicky worked for them, seeing how they were there. So when we got there, everybody's following me. I grab a buggy, and they go, "What do you need a buggy for?" I said, "You'll see." And I go, first of all, they go to Sporting Goods and grab the youth aluminum baseball bats. I put 2 of them in there right next to where the basket is.
Oh shit!
And they're like, "What's that for?" I said,
Get that signal real freaking quick. I know exactly what that was for. Go get me one too.
Stay down. No, stay down. I said no, stay down.
But if we would have known, if we
I
would
told
have,
everybody, stay close to the buggy. People get stupid, grab a bat.
Yeah.
there you go.
Good man.
But if we would have known years ago when we were egging and toilet paper in houses, what a fortune we could have made.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I seen a meme that said back in our day, you used to throw eggs and toilet paper at houses.
Yeah. Come on, Grandma. Let's get you to bed. You need to take a nap now.
I said no.
That's funny.
Yeah, I got in trouble one time because I cleaned up some woman's house that got toilet paper. Nobody told her that I was doing it. She caught me cleaning it up. Thought I was the one that did it.
Oh yeah. It can look that way in reverse, you know. Yeah.
You never return to the crime scene.
Yeah.
Who's that girl that Chip did?
So they in Detroit they had there was Halloween night, but then like a night or two before was Devil's Night.
The night before.
And that's when everybody went toilet papering and egging houses and stuff like that. You know, it was like the chaos happened before the fun did. I'm actually surprised with all the
real
chaos that went on if anybody got to have any fun.
Right.
It was egging.
We used to toilet paper houses.
I never egged a
turn the
house.
sprinklers on.
Yeah,
Damn, Jerry, that is another level.
What's that? Deb B says, I haven't seen you in a while, Hawk. What is your current status? I'm still single.
But you got a good beard going, you know.
Yeah, it's coming along.
Good. It looks good.
Hawk, did you know what Devil's Night in Detroit evolved into, where they burned down all the empty buildings?
Well, I know that it was part of the 1960s, 1970s riots.
Well, I'm talking all the way up into the 90s. Every Devil's Night, there would be 300 to 600 fires.
77.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
Hi.
They leveled a lot of empty, abandoned buildings on Devil's Night.
You don't say I've never egged or
I never had Devil's Night.
I never did.
Isn't that Halloween?
I said I dig dog ditch and stuff. I don't.
It's the night before.
What's that? Devil's Night? No, they were two separate nights.
Brings cars, but that
No.
Devil's Night is the night before Halloween.
Oh,
Did you
really?
buy more sugar?
Oh, it's close. Okay.
oh,
I
shit.
didn't realize it's so close.
Don't ask me how, but I know all about Devil's Night in Michigan.
I never heard of it. Must be a northern thing.
There wasn't an egg shortage back then.
I ain't never heard of it.
Me neither.
There wasn't an egg shortage back then.
Right.
We use shaving cream. We spray it on people's cars.
And you could get them.
Soap in the window.
We would get shoe polish and write things on people's windows with shoe polish.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Blow up.
You said something about dog greens.
Never mind.
Trying to get the last two pups acclimated to being inside all the time because they kind of didn't want to come in with all the big dogs. They were like, no, the big dogs have their space and we got to stay out of the way. Well, I finally got Samson to come in. He's a black face like Juan, and then finally the last couple of days I've gotten Gunner inside. And all the other dogs are gone. All of them. They're all rehomed. Oh, yeah. Every one of them, good homes.
What are you down to now? How many?
10 in the total with the big dogs and the two pups. So I got 8 big dogs and 2 pups.
That's the smallest number since I've known you, I think.
Yep. And we're not having any babies for at least a year.
Yeah,
So,
you're breathing easy lately.
yeah, I need some breathing time. I do. It's like, I mean, I love the fact that they deserve the opportunity and the right to procreate, but at the same time, it's got to be an affordable procreate. We got to make sure that there's budgeting behind it and everything else, because having puppies costs money, no matter how you look at it. You got to buy the food, you got to do the shots, you got to do the beds, you got to do the blankets, you got to do, poop detail and everything else.
The food alone, I bet, costs a lot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's on an average. I was going through at the max. I was going through 120 pounds of puppy food a week.
Oh my God.
At the minimum, I'm going through 25 to 30 pounds.
High-end puppy food. High-end.
Oh yeah. I don't mess around when it comes to the dog food.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But that's got to do with making sure that they have every protein and nutrient necessary in order for the best body development for their particular breed. Now if they were the slopes, the long-haired slopes, I would have to go with a totally different dog food, because no matter how much of the Royal Canin you give them in order to develop their hips, they still have that back end carriage that can break down within 3 to 4 years. So you've got to go with super high protein in order to build those muscles and to pack the marrow in that bone, because that's the biggest problem with the DM is that the breakdown in the marrow, especially in the ball socket that goes into their hip. That breaks down the quickest because it's the most worn on, because all their weight is carried where? On those back hips. That's the problem with the slopes.
What do you mean by slopes?
Oh, look at those two.
Nice.
Beautiful puppies.
Yeah, they are.
Hi.
I like them.
Hawk, I got a question.
Shoot.
The older they get, male dog, and the more in heat they are, the more aggressive they are. Is that not true?
That is correct.
Thank you.
Yep. Yeah. What it is after about 4 years old, the males become extremely dominant. If there's any other males around while there's a female in heat, the aggression level can go from a 20 to an 80 almost instantly. And
just like humans.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it's like a bar on Friday night. It's my breeding night. But yeah, and you have to be extremely careful for that, because it doesn't matter whether it's a dog or a human. They will react the same way. So you got to be careful.
So this Malinois I have, Shasta, You probably remember seeing her when I first got her. She was, she was a little pup, and she's a year now in Cinco de Mayo, so May, right? And she was supposed to get fixed. She was supposed to get fixed, and I didn't really want to anyway, but she's in heat. And I told my husband and my daughter, I'm like, they're not gonna do it if she's in heat. But she took her.
D, I got to ask you something.
What?
Just before you lost power and your world turned upside down, you said on a panel, I thought you were going to send me something. Did you? Because I have not received nothing.
No.
And if not, I need to go buy something.
No, I did ask you though if you wanted more of that old stuff again. Did I?
Oh, boy, howdy.
I'm thinking you had your own good, fresh, new stuff from.
That's gone.
Okay. I gotcha. Okay, gotcha, buddy.
He said that's dust in the wind.
Okay.
And I was talking about that stuff I put on my knee too.
Yeah, the rub.
Yeah.
Actually, D, I got to tell you, somebody called me the other day,
Yeah.
and we were talking on the phone, and they had a thing of your salve,
Oh, cool.
and they were tickled pink.
Ah.
They were very happy with it.
Well, thank
Very,
you.
very happy with it. Yep. They were asking me how they could infuse some THC in there.
Oh.
They wanted to put a little bit more in there for a little bit stronger pain relief.
I make that too. I just can't put that on the website. But
Yeah, and there's a lot of states you can't send it to,
Yeah.
So that's the crazy thing is there's a lot of places you can't mail it to,
I do it anyway. I don't care.
Vicky used that stuff.
I am a PMA, so I'm a private membership association, so I feel a little bit like protected out of their jurisdiction. But yeah, they just have to ask me, and some people have gotten it if it has the solid label, like the solid color, like that, then they got the 1-to-1. But
okay.
And so they might have, but if they wanted more in it, then probably not, because this is 1-to-1. So.
Yeah, Vicky used that stuff with your gold lid. I think it's the same stuff you have there. She uses it on her legs because she gets itchy spots on her calves, and she'll just scratch till it bleeds. And she uses that, and it stops it from bothering her. She don't itch. It heals it up.
That's the perfect one for the legs. That's what I made for my legs because I've got the same. It's like varicose veins or something. This shit hurts at night, side of my leg. So I made this one with cypress in it. And it's actually formulated for more of the movement of the skin and muscles.
I've never had nothing in my whole life of having this knee like this work like that stuff did.
Stop it, you guys.
No, I'm serious now. When the weather changes is when I feel my knee. All right. And it's like a deep down aching. It's like comes in little waves. And I put that stuff on, and then I got to experience when the weather changed again, and I was out, and I was missing that stuff.
I'll get you some out in a week for sure. Unless I go to town tomorrow, but I don't think I can send it anywhere out tomorrow, unless some place is open. I don't know.
No, I don't get me wrong, D. I appreciate the first time. I just was curious because I've been watching.
Yeah,
and I knew you went through some shit since then.
No, and I asked you too. I'm like, did you want more of that stuff? Yeah. Oh, yeah. You guys got the 1-to-1. You got the shit right there, baby.
Yeah. That's the stuff I told you. The lid was cracked on, and I opened that bag up, and it smelled like a bale of weed.
I knew the lid was cracked, but I was like, you know what? It's good stuff, and
it still works.
It works. I just telling you, when I opened it up, I was like, wow.
Good. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. So good.
I get real bad leg cramps too, and it works for it.
Yeah, I know. I lay in bed and I'm like, oh shit, I
killed the squeaking out of it.
Try not to put it on, and then they'll just start hurting. And I'm like, all right, I gotta put it on. But yeah, that's the one I made for it. Yeah, right on. I gotta go because my husband's almost home. He's been gone for like days. He's been skiing, and he's on his way home. I could tell he's up on the mountain. He's almost here. So I love y'all. It's been fun.
Good night,
And
Smoochie
Good night.
Patches.
Love you, Dee.
I'm sorry I couldn't. And Bonnie, next week we might be good to go with Eric. This week he was helping his dad and really focus on his dad a lot. But we're excited to do that stream
Right.
together. Have a back room. So good to see you, Hawk. Love you, Chuck and
Okay.
family.
All right, take care, D.
Bye, girl.
I love
Hawk,
her.
may I ask you a question?
Sure.
Hey, Jay.
Hey, what's up, Chuck? What's going on, Carmo?
Hey.
Bonnie.
Right on, Jay.
Hold on, Bonnie has a question.
I don't see any food.
Taco.
I got a ribeye sitting in there.
Taco.
If you don't go to a doctor, do you?
Nope.
Okay, so if you thought you had the skin cancer, what would you use on it?
Skin cancer, I would put RSO. I would use RSO, no doubt, no substitute whatsoever.
And drink as much orange juice, organic orange juice, as you can possibly stand.
It's the thing about the Rick Simpson's oil is, when he developed that, number one, he got the recipe out of a Bible, out of a 13th century Bible, is where he got the recipe for making that. And, through applying that directly to, to a cancerous cell on the skin, and putting a bandage over it, with, 4 days later, you go and take the bandage off and it's gone.
Oh, wow.
It's gone. It was, he went to Rick Simpson went to all these different dermatologists, and things like that to try and get them to use this, because of its effectiveness. And it really started an interaction between the medical community, the RCMP, I think it's called, or is it the RMPC? It's the Royal Mounted Police or whatever, up there, the government end of it all. When they found out that this product actually worked and killed the cancer cells and removed it within a few days, they issued a warrant for this guy's arrest.
Wow.
Not kidding. They issued a warrant for his arrest. He's still in, as far as I've last heard, he still has not returned to Canada, and it's been like 12 or 13 years now.
Wow.
He's still in the Amsterdam area, going from house to house to house to keep him safe. But the Canadian government wanted him dead. They wanted to kill him because of the fact that they knew that at the point that, it's like looking at the Ivor situation here in America. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We had a president who talked about it, and everybody said he was crazy and everything else. But now people are starting to go to NIH.gov and type in Ivor and cancer. And while they're getting this big list of stuff that this stuff kills.
Well, see, and I have the liquid Ivor. It's like 0.8. It's for sheep. And I didn't know if I should try that. The doctor told me
like
to
this?
Huh?
Like these here?
It's a white jug.
Hold on,
Okay. So I get the syringes.
Oh, okay.
She's got the liquid, like sheep stuff or whatever.
Yeah. So it's the idea of this is that, and you can use that on it.
Okay.
You can use that on it. However, it is going to take longer than what the Rick Simpson oil is.
Well, my doctor told me to put cortisone on it, and that made it a whole lot worse.
Oh, yeah. It creates an inflammation, which allows the cancer cells to actually spread through.
Oh, nice.
But your doctor's not going to make any money if he cures you.
You'd be better off just putting raw and processed honey on it. If you want to slow it down till you get that RSO, you'd be better off just putting raw honey on it if that's all you got.
This is Texas. Where can we get RSO?
Take a drive into Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Okay.
Yep, take a drive into Oklahoma.
It's getting colder, and I'm looked up and.
Yep, it's one state away, you know. And the thing is if you go there and stay in a hotel for a week, and you're putting it on that skin cancer, and you know, within 4 or 5 days it's gone, you're coming back across the state line. You're not having to bring anything with you.
True.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it and saying, okay, it's you know, the doctors say that, you know, the things that they're going to do for you is going to be for quality of life, not so much as quantity of life, but quality of life. Well, what if you can get both? What if you can get the quality of life and the quantity of life back?
Do they mean their life?
Well, their cars and their houses and their, you know, and their boats and things like that. They get a better quality life. Yeah, absolutely. You know, you think about it. It's what is the medical industry other than the biggest scam ever put upon the people?
Oh, they're not refunding that out lately.
Next to bankers, and they're in bed with each other. So.
Oh, absolutely. It's what was I watching? I was watching something yesterday, and they said that 80% of all commercials on TV are pharmaceutical.
I believe it.
So the pharmaceutical industry is providing 80% of all the content outside of the TV shows that you watch. And then 80% of those shows, what do they talk about? The medical. The medical. You know,
they feed on people's fears. They're feeding on fears.
No, these people are all hailed as heroes. Okay, when in all actuality, they're making a living off of damage that the doctors are actually doing.
Right, yes. But they put out all these things that make you worry that you have some disease or something, and then there's the commercial. There's the cure for your ailment right there on TV every 10 minutes.
Yep. Fear porn.
Well, but all they want to do is cut on you. Oh, you got this. Let me cut you open.
It's profit over empathy. All right, a doctor. Any doctor should be there to help people. You know, like back in the days, if all you could get was a couple eggs and a chicken from the guy, he'd take it. You know, you don't have to take his house to fix him.
Yep. There was a lawsuit that was filed back in 2019. A guy in Virginia went into the hospital, and they told him that his I believe it was his right kidney failed. When in all actuality, they had already sold his kidney.
What?
They already sold it. Before he even went into surgery, they had been paid in full for his kidney. And they had just given him some drugs that would actually begin to put the organ into a dormant state so that they could remove it and transplant it into another human being.
That is horrible.
And it's horrible, but it's not near as bad as what they really do.
You know, think about what they're doing to the kids. You know, I mean, if you follow Project Veritas at all, you know, with everything that they were showing that was going on from that Planned Parenthood thing, selling baby organs and things like that.
I know.
You know, it was the biggest cash crop in the world. The biggest cash crop in the world. You think about it. 90 million babies a year.
Yep.
Never mind the 800,000, you know, between 2 years old to preteen that disappear every single year. 800,000, boom, gone.
Yeah, where'd they go? Where the hell did they go?
A lot of
800,000
parents
people.
never get to see their stillborn, supposedly stillborn babies. They never get to see them.
Yeah.
Well, think about that phrase, stillborn.
Uh-huh.
Stillborn. You know, they could tell a mom that her baby was stillborn, okay, and never bring the baby back into her.
But it was stillborn.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they can
That's
get,
an eye opener right there.
they can medicate her to where the baby doesn't move but still breathing, say it died, and
That's why
There's people that are coming forward that say exactly that, Joe.
yeah. But that's why they're fighting so hard to keep it going when all these states are no more. I mean, they don't do them in Texas anymore.
Yeah, I just responded to that. I just typed in a hey. And so,
All right.
yeah, good to see
All
you,
right.
Double I. You know,
Hey,
but
Hawk.
it's all a play on words. It's this grammar that they're utilizing and tricking people. You know, and you think about what they're, you think about the devastation that it does to a mom alone. You know, you think about that in itself. I mean, think about the mental devastation that goes on when a woman miscarries. Okay, and for some women, they never bounce back from it. That is a harm that is done that they carry with them for years and years and years. Okay, and sorry, there's a line of fire trucks going by out on the highway right now, so the dogs are going nuts because it's hold on. Let me crack the door. Listen to this.
Unfortunately, I know some younger gals that have tried for years to have children.
Can you hear the orchestra?
Well, yeah, there's a bunch of people who tried, but that's not the way. And see, that's why they make adoption so hard too. And you have to pay tons of money for that. And but boy, you can be a foster system for the system and get away with whatever. We just had one 25 miles from here. A couple of men grabbed some girls, took them to a motel.
Hey,
In the
Hawk.
30s, 40s, and 50s, they gave people children. They gave them to them.
Wow.
If you had the means in which to provide for a child, here, take one.
Yeah.
Here, take one.
Sick.
Yeah. But
boarding houses.
60 began to change. That's where the change came in, is in the 60s. Because of the fact that that's when they really began to see the drug effects of what was going on in the 60s coming through children, at birth. And so guidelines had to be set, and stuff like that. And then in the 70s, it got tougher. And then the 80s came along, and that was a kind of a rich period for America. A lot of very, very strong businesses were built, and we're going to be large sustainers for our country. And, the manipulation through the courts and the manipulation through CPS and or DCYS or family services, whatever you want to call it, became more prolific. There was money getting handed back and forth. Now it's become the biggest money co-op worldwide.
Yes.
I mean, worldwide. Children are the biggest commodity financially worldwide.
We had a county in Texas that I guess somebody sued, and that county is no longer, CPS cannot be involved in that county whatsoever. It's up to the sheriff. If he thinks there's abuse going on, he'll take care of it. And county clerk just told someone close to me that their case was a total sham. And I was like, the county clerk said that. And she said, you've got every right to retaliate. And I told her, I said, you need to do it. That's how we do it. We need to stop it.
Well, I've seen some evidence that makes the CPS look pretty evil.
Yes. And what B-Dog is saying, if you go in and say you want the court of records, immediately that takes it out of family court and puts it into
jury.
A trial by jury.
But Michigan won't let you do that. It's a civil suit, so they'll keep it in civil court.
Mm-hmm.
Then if you get a court of records, you can probably take it to Supreme Court.
Yeah, it takes a judge out of it, puts it before a jury, and they have to put it wherever they can, where the first jury available is.
Yes.
Hey, Hawk.
Yes, sir.
Hey, man, I just want to let you know Krista Crafts is going to be very happy that you're here. No, she's been looking for you lately. We haven't seen you around, bro.
Oh, I've been bed 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah, well, she'll
Yeah,
be very happy because she's been putting the word out there, looking for you.
Yeah. No, I've been early to bed, early to rise.
Nothing wrong with that.
I've been dealing with having to pump thousands and thousands of gallons of water out of here. We literally flooded. We were at the point where we had water coming through the door here.
No kidding.
Yeah. Oh yeah. We had at one point we had 4 inches of ice in one section and 13 inches of ice in the deepest part. And then the flooding came in, and we had 18 inches over here and 33 inches out there. So, and that 33 inches covers a 5.5 acre section of the park. And
probably too late to tell you this.
Hey,
probably
man,
too late to say it, but look into Army surplus pump systems.
I have 13 pumps, and I have to run them on cycles because I'm running off of two generators. I can run 3 pumps on the 7,500 watt generator, and the 1,000 watt generator I can only run 1. So I have to shift the generators around to run different pumps because I've got to get it to one section of the property and then pump it from that section out to the highway and where the gully is that takes it all down into the creek. The water company should be fucking paying me for the amount of water that I'm giving them to turn around and sell to the public.
Some of those Army surplus pumps make the commercial ones look like toys.
Oh yeah, I know. But you're talking thousands of dollars that I just don't have.
Well, that's why I'm saying they cost the government thousands and thousands, but not many people buy them. So they're usually available, usually way, way from me. Some other state I'd have to drive to, though.
Yeah.
Hey, Hawk, we've been following you for a long time, man. I don't remember this happening any other winter time. Flooding. I remember you got some rain and some water, but not like you're talking about now.
Well, this is I've been running without power for a year now.
Right, you've been running on a generator.
Yeah, for a year. So last year we still had power for the flooding period. So I had 13 pumps that were running, consecutively, all running at the same time, running off of the power.
That
but
makes
the thing
sense.
is that on an average, my electric bill was anywhere between $1,300 to $1,700 more per month because of those pumps running.
Right.
And my final electric bill was $12,000. And I said,
even with the fuel cost, I'll bet you're paying less with the generators, though.
Oh, absolutely. It's running those and running my building and my kitchen. $1,390 every 6 weeks.
That's what I had several of the 1.5K and 5K military issue generator systems, and they outperform. Man, a 1.5K, a small. It's 110 pounds. I can lift it by myself, but that thing would run 3 houses, all your refrigerators, everything.
Yep. Yeah, it's so I have one. What the hell kind of? I don't even know what the hell the name of the generator is. I have one that that basically runs this building and my kitchen building, so it can run the refrigerator, the microwave, my small pizza oven, this building. So I got lights, computer, internet, all that stuff.
You got them above ground, I take it, from the flooding, but you got the ground rod systems and everything installed.
Yep. It's and then I have a small 1,000 watt that I can just move from pump to pump. It weighs maybe 60 pounds, if that. And I don't fill it up with gas until after I get it moved, because I don't want oil mixing with the gas or anything like that. And I can get a little clumsy with all these dogs running around under my feet while I'm trying to move something somewhere. They want to go where I'm going. It's been working pretty good. It's like this, it's a hell of a lot cheaper than having the power on. And it's a lot less problems. PG&E is such a crook. They are such a crooked organization. The way that they manipulate farms by coming in and putting their equipment in on our farms they're dangerous. They're dangerous. They knew that where they were installing the transformer was a flood zone. In over a 3-year period, we've had to change that transformer out 3 times at over $20,000 per time. That our cost. Never mind what they were paying, which was probably nothing. And they're just telling us that this is how much it's going to cost us in order to replace it. But it wasn't our fault that you put it in the flood zone. They demanded that that's where it had to be installed at. No, that's 100% wrong. They should not have been involved with the planning of that whatsoever. Everything should have been installed on the hill. And if it had been, we never would have, lost the money that we've lost over these last years. We would still be a thriving business now, but hey, I look at it like this. I'm getting ready to move on to bigger and better things. And I'm not even going to sweat it, I'm just not.
And that's what I was just wondering, is if that was still a go.
Oh yeah, it's still a go. We're just on hold, we had one guy come out that was trying to fly out here to get a whole bunch of paperwork and stuff done. Can't get a flight from anywhere. First it was the storms that grounded them and everything else. Now it's all these problems with the FAA and all that. And it's like, yeah, I see wrench after wrench after wrench trying to get thrown into the mix of it. But it's still a go.
Welcome to the potato farm.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. I don't know. My ass wouldn't get on a plane right now.
I wouldn't either. It's you think about all the people who got the jabber jab, and are piloting these, these craft, even ships. I don't think I'd even get on a ship.
I don't think so.
It's there are just too many variables that could happen. We're beginning to see it. We're starting to see plane crashes all over the world. And the thing is we know what it's contributed to, but nobody wants to admit it.
Yeah, they're letting these people run it with heart problems, and the pressures from going up and down and all that can set that off at any time. It's stupid.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Hey Jay, I flew a plane before, Jay. I've never landed, but we could figure it out.
Hey, I went up on one of those little Cessnas with my father-in-law. Well, he was a flight instructor out at the Air Force Base out here, and he was training those guys back in 2000. Mm-hmm. And he took me up in the plane, and turned out that the cars were going faster than us, man. We were hitting a headwind. We weren't moving. Yep. The cars were going faster than us. Then he shut the engine off. Yeah, it was a big thing. Anyways, I always told him, you hope you're teaching them boys how to land.
Yep.
That's just it. They took me up in planes a bunch of times. And
The
those
only
old
way I would
planes
get-
had two wheels.
The only way I would get on a plane is if I knew that there were passengers on board that had flight time that knew how to land it.
Hey, Stephanie.
Yeah.
Not kidding.
True.
I'm serious. That would probably be about the only way that I would get on a plane with somebody.
That's what I thought. I'm not. You see, all the elite are saying unvaxxed pilots.
Oh yeah, you saw that the big thing over in
Oh yeah.
Crap.
Davo.
Well, I know Davos just went on, but the staging place for that was I think it was Germany. It was somewhere in Europe. That there was a mandate put out that none of the pilots could have been V'd.
Yep.
So you think about it, it's like, yeah, pure blood's going to come into effect here pretty soon.
That's what I was going to say, Jerry. Yeah, they want TB. The elites are hiring TBs for everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Rebel
Stephanie.
News put out. Rebel News put out a bunch of stuff because they were over in Davos and they were getting in the faces of everybody at Davos. They got in front of Governor Kemp. They walked with Greta Thunberg for about 20 minutes.
They walked with the Pfizer CEO.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Pfizer CEO. Yep. And so there are people out there digging for content. There is no doubt. They are digging for, and they're throwing this stuff right in their faces. But the thing is until we get mainstream media to jump on board and start playing this stuff, it's like news for a selected crowd. When we want everybody to see it, not just a few, we want the masses to see it. And we're being stymied left and right and left and right and left and right. Getting people to go to Truth Social to watch a video is like trying to pull out a couple of molars at the same time.
That's true.
Yeah. There's like 6 people from this community on Truth Social that I found. That's it. There's like 6 of us.
Yeah, I'm not on there.
I'm
not on it.
I never.
I got you on mine. You're on mine, Hawk. I found you.
Yeah, I haven't been posting anything up there. I pretty much I've been watching. I've been watching to see how people are in comparison to how Twitter was, how Patreon was, how RedPill.com was, and I'm watching what's coming out.
Space Shot.
Because I want to see. I want to see that level playing field where people can have a difference in an opinion and discuss it.
That's what I did, Hawk, because I got on there for a couple of weeks. I tested that right to the full max. I just spoke my mind. Apparently, I didn't get a single censoring. I didn't get anybody arguing with me. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I let it go. I spoke my mind. It's all over my page.
But I want to see that level playing field where people can come back and say something, and then you can sit there and validate it by the proofs that you have and change their mind. But we're not.
That's the problem, I think, though, is I think we're all on the right side there.
Yeah, it's
like
all one-sided. Yep.
I'm running on Twitter right now. This live's broadcasting there in D Live. I ought to go to Truth Social. I don't know if it'd link up though.
It's
You can put videos, but you can't do live.
There. Yeah, I'm not sure what the thing is to broadcast live on Truth Social. I don't even know if you can or not.
I've never seen a live on Truth Social, but you can post videos.
Yeah, and links to videos. So, but it's like, I did get a new IP address a few weeks ago, and when I did make a new Twitter. Because I wanted to get in there and see what Musk was doing. I was hearing about all the files that were dropping and everything else, but I wasn't able to see anything because even if somebody sent me a Twitter link, I couldn't even go to it. It says I'm blocked. This
You're
account
banned.
is banned or suspended, permanently. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah, did they ever drop the Fauci files?
Well, they're on number 15 now.
Yeah.
Right?
Is there anything good? I mean, is there anything rock solid, hard evidence?
It's all rock solid. It's receipts, man.
Yeah.
It's rock
And
solid.
It's all their direct communications. That's what's going to get them. It was.
This isn't hearsay.
The cover up is what always gets them.
The cover up will always get them. Yep.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was. It's something like that, Hawk.
Yeah.
But
And that's basically what it is. You see how they've been each and every situation that we've been talking about for the last 3-4 years now. Okay.
Right.
Every situation that has come up that we've been talking about and reporting about and trying to have conversations about are now coming out in these communications between these people on Twitter. It's like to find out that I was banned because of Adam Schiff was a 100% pure joy for me.
Oh yeah.
Because I sent him pictures of the hotel room at the Standard Hotel where he killed that little boy by ODing him and having sex with him. Okay. And that's when I got banned off of Twitter. Okay. Now, the thing is that same day I posted a whole bunch of stuff in regards to J6, and clips, links to clips. And I thought it was the J6 stuff that got me. No, it was Schiff. It was his staff that requested my account be shut down because I was harassing the congressman.
He reminds me of a weasel.
Mm-hmm. Now, do I have the money to go after him and sue him like these rich people do? No, but it's nice to know that I was having an effect.
Oh yeah, that has to put a smile to your face. Put one to mine.
Yeah.
You're right about the MSN. As long as they continue to do this, it's going to keep a certain amount of people blinded. I just saw a report, and it was a pretty believable report, saying there's 20 million dead from that hokey pokey in the last year.
Mm-hmm.
If that kind of information would get out onto the mainstream.
U.S. alone.
Yes. If that information would be spread like it should be, it would be a whole different atmosphere around here.
Mm-hmm. I bet if they stood there at the border and demanded that they had to get it as soon as they crossed the border, they wouldn't come in.
I would almost bet you too. I bet you there'd be a lot of them that don't.
Darn.
Yeah, that would.
That's all we got to do. They don't have to know what's in it. Just sitting there with a bunch of syringes.
That's right. You just got to. Yep. You just got to take it. So you want to come
I
in?
just saw a doctor that's going down for using saline solution instead. They caught him, and now they're arrested him for using the saline solution instead of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, he was the one giving it to children, though, right? He would throw away the shot and shoot him with saline.
Yeah, I was giving him saline instead.
But
They
I
arrested him.
I thought it was legal for doctors to use placebo.
I think it was
only in trials.
Yeah.
Only and it has to be a government sanctioned trial in order for them to be able to use a placebo. So he was doing it outside the medical board. He was doing it outside of of what the government what the government was currently mandating at that time for the medical. And this is the thing. Is that people still have not gotten it into their heads that a mandate is not a law.
It's a suggestion.
It's a suggestion. That's it. And I suggest that you don't but I'm not a doctor, so you know.
Hell, I used to think doctor superseded all of it. Doctor care with their patient. That government had nothing to do with it. But then you add communism into it, then it is. But
Yeah, well, it's
And
the
money.
doctors have
And
been getting
money.
so much funding. You think about, you think about what the kickbacks that they get for every drug. You think about it. These pharmaceutical guys go around to every single doctor's office, dropping off samples of this, samples of that, telling them how to do this, how to do that, how to get away with this, how to get away with that. And the doctors do it because of the fact that how much money that they're going to make. And it doesn't matter if it costs any other patient's lives because they're getting paid instead of taking our money, they're taking the pharmaceutical industry's money. And then they're getting paid even more from Medicare and state-funded programs and things like that. They're making bank off of our tax dollar.
Oh yeah.
Before they even get you into the office.
2 years ago on your show, we were talking about how if you tested positive, they got the hospital would get $35,000 in funding. If they were on the machine, they got $75,000 in funding. If they died, they got $135,000 in funding. That was 2 years ago we were talking about. And you know what? I've seen evidence that backs it up that was truth.
Yep.
Since then,
100%.
I haven't seen
All those
anybody.
doctors are coming forward now. But the thing is you claim to be heroes. Where in the fuck were you when this was happening? Why weren't you speaking up when this was happening?
Exactly.
Well, I got to support my family and everything else by killing other people's families.
Yep, they want to say now it was my job or I was told to do it. It don't fucking matter.
It ain't gonna matter.
If they told you to go hit people in the hammer until we tell you to quit, does that mean it's legal? No.
Yep. It's like I watch I watch And We Know. I try to watch it daily. It's got to do with timing and everything else, but he has one section of his podcast now where he dedicates it to people who were pushing the jab, right? And then about how they themselves are dying. These people who were pushing the jab and saying, oh, and they're bragging about getting it and everything else. And then all of a sudden they drop dead. I'm sorry, but you want me to feel sorry for you? I can't do that. I can pray for you. I can pray for your soul that maybe you'll be forgiven for trying to deceive the rest of the world through your message. But that's all I can do. That's all I can do is just pray for you. That's it. But he does this on a daily basis. He takes like 3 minutes where he runs through this list, and it doesn't shock me to see it, because of the information that we had 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And what we were seeing, what we were hearing, what we were being told, and those of us who were not afraid to research it and look for the information and be able to begin conversations. And I'm glad we got to have those conversations before they really started heavily censoring us, because, I'm going to say this, and I'm not saying it to pat anybody on the back, but we did, in fact, save lives because people were coming to us to ask questions, and we were pointing them to things like what were the nurses that were the good guys, frontline doctors and things like that. We were pointing them to doctors like that black woman, Dr. Emmanuel, I think her name is.
When that was happening back then, Hawk, real good close person to me was a nurse at a hospital up here for 12 years, I think it was. She quit that 2 years ago when that happened. She said she couldn't be part of it.
Do you know my wife made it through the whole thing without having to take the jab as a nurse.
Yep.
She's the only one in the whole hospital that made it through it without having to take it.
And the thing is, there are so many places that are denying religious exemption.
And that was
things like
because, and the reason why, Hawk, was because we were so far ahead of it that as soon as I heard it, she went and filed an exemption, a religious exemption, before anybody else was even knew anything about anything.
Yeah.
And they already granted it to her, so they couldn't pull it back from her.
No, they can't. Once it's given,
She was the only one out of thousands of people that were
Good thing too. If you fly under the radar, don't brag about it. Don't say nothing to nobody about it.
Yeah.
So I told her. She said, "Everybody asked me why I don't have my little sticker on my badge."
It
Good for her, Jay. Good for her.
It fell off. That's what I told her. Just tell me it fell off. Or say what sticker? Oh, I don't know. It fell off. So that way you're not really lying.
Yeah. Yeah, my propane guy came out to fill up my tank yesterday, and when he drove on property, he asked me if he had to put a mask on, and I told him, if you put a mask on, you might as well turn that truck around and get off my property.
You should have told him not until it's time to give you the bill. You should have told him not until it's time to give you the bill, man.
No, he said, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I says, "There's been a big scam and everything else." He says, "I thought so." He was like, So I turned him on. I turned him on to a couple of different reports and gave him some direct links to some particular interesting interviews with doctors and with funeral people, the people who do the embalming and things like that. And and this is what's funny. When I called him up and ordered the propane, he was only supposed to deliver 400 gallons. He filled my 2,000-gallon tank.
Oh, sweet.
He filled
That's rocking.
And that's great, because that is going to be enough to carry me through until we get out of here.
Right hand wash.
That's like the guy I got filling my tanks. He fills them to capacity, not what's recommended. There's like a 6 pound difference in it.
Yeah, and the thing is with the 2,000-gallon tank, there's got to be 100 gallons of pressure, because I have a hose that comes off of it that fills propane tanks, and so if that tank is not pressurized then I can't fill the small tanks. It would be like 35 to 40 minutes to fill a 20-gallon, a 20-pound tank.
Basically has to aerosolize the liquid.
Well, you just have to, you'd have to pump up, get air in that tank, pump it up, put pressure in it.
So when he filled it up, my tanks are filling, my big 100-pound or 90-pound tanks are filling in 7 minutes.
Sweet.
7 minutes they're full, and I'm on to the next tank. So I got them all filled now. They're all filled.
By one of the guys over here that works at a place 10 years ago, these places where you buy your tanks at the grocery store, the dollar store, whatever. He goes, that's a big scam ripoff. He goes, we fill your grill tanks full as you were allowed under specs. They put it 1/3 full, and he said they charge you $20-$30. We get $10 and we top it off.
Yep.
Right.
That's real. That's what I've discovered here.
And then you heard they're going to sell all our gas to, they got caught trying to sell it to, in China.
Yep. It's,
natural gas.
Well, somebody in Congress had something to do with that getting stopped. I still have a lot of reservations in regards to McCarthy. But the fact that he has all those stipulations above him,
That's what I said.
I'm gonna say, okay, well, I'm gonna sit back. I'm gonna watch what he does. But knowing that if he does screw up, they're just gonna remove him.
Yep.
And then at that point, they're
gonna tear his ass up if he does screw up. remember, blackmail's a bitch.
Yep, and it only
tell
takes
you what,
one
that
person
week
to
they
stand up
did
and say
that-
we don't want you anymore.
That's right.
That week of stalling, I saw more dirt on him than I ever did.
Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah. His connection to the WEF and all that. Yep.
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 Yeah, a lot of-
And then watching what was going on in Davos this week with the WEF, it was I was seeing faces there that I didn't even know were going.
Oh yeah.
I was like, whoa, look at my. It changed my opinion about a lot of people.
A lot of them ain't ever had to face the hot earth syrup and feathers though either.
Yeah.
That's what needs to be done, man, real soon.
Yeah,
But
tar and
I
feather.
just gotta sit back and just watch what goes on, and spread the word. Get ready.
How you doing, Sam?
Yeah, I'm ready to start donating rope.
Yeah, me too. I won't even
Yeah.
wear a hood. They can see me, look me in the eye while I pull that freaking gauntlet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, be the master of their own creation, like the guillotines. They need to send the ones that set that up and be the first ones to try it.
Yeah. Yep.
You guys knock it off back there.
It's talking to you, Hawk.
I did see something about they're getting ready for the Nuremberg trials.
I hope.
Lay down.
They've been doing stuff over there for a long time now.
But they've always said 2023 would be the year.
Yeah.
No, you come over and steal Scout the tank.
We'll see, man. I'm open for anything right now. I don't know. I know everybody else is too.
If Gitmo and Nuremberg had a channel that cost $50 a month, I'd be the first
Come
one
on.
to do it.
That's right.
I'm getting that show.
Yeah. Actually, I'm buying the front row seats. I want to.
I want to be the random guy with a button.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely shaking up out there.
You know what'll make you feel better, Jay? When you get off of here, listen to the song Inject the Venom by AC/DC.
Oh yeah, I know that song. Got it in my, I know everybody, CD fucking thing over there.
I still
No
hold on.
mercy for the bad.
I still lay with my headphones and chill on the carpet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but that particular song has some really good lyrics for these days.
You know what's bad? I start listening to old school, and it don't take long, and I got Pantera in, and I'm really getting into it.
I got a little 5-finger death punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go old, and I half hour going old, and let's crank it up.
Yeah, get it on.
I still got an old metal face stereo in the front room in there. It's got the small tweak mids that's supposed to hang from the ceiling, and the 2 boxes with 15s in it hooked up to it, and it ain't been blown the dust out of probably in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I got an old Marantz in my garage.
Those Marantz heads were the shit. The Marantz heads were sought after in the 70s and 80s.
This thing's got the meters on it, and it's got a big old switch on it. You can cut the vocals out of any song.
Yep.
You can switch this thing
Is that
down.
a quad? That's a quad.
Yeah, I think so. It's old. It's been around for a while.
Let me see if I can get this working, and I'll give everybody a gander if I.
No mercy for the bad if they want it. No mercy for the bad if they plead. No mercy for the bad if they want. What's up, Zoom? Ain't seen him in a bit.
Is Stephanie here? I've been meaning to say hi to her. Where's she?
I saw Stephanie in the beginning.
Stephanie Kerr, isn't she still up on the panel?
I saw both Stephanies.
Wow.
Stephanie
Kerr. Oh.
She must have.
Lily J. Cindy, Janet, Garrett.
Hey, thanks for letting me up, Chuck.
Mary Freeland, Jerry, Tennessee Ridge Runner, Nora. Some guy named Texas Views with Chuck's in the
Running
chat.
through the house, see if I can find this stereo. I don't even remember what kind it is.
Lucia.
It's an old Kenwood. I think it's an 80s some model.
Oh yeah. That's the stacks when they started stacking them.
Yeah, and that's the got one over there in a dining room we never used.
I hate rooms we never use. I'm like,
So,
why do
Jay,
you have-
in 1980, I started building a stereo, and I built a stereo using. I had the Kenwood head, and I took two 800-watt PV amps and a 400 cord, and I built a 2,000-watt stereo system with 15-inch JBLs and 350-watt JBL drivers. And the first time I turned the stereo on, it blew every light bulb in the house that wasn't on, rattled every filament out of every light bulb. And then I was doing parties, and I did this one party just a few weeks after completing the system, and I was breaking windows of houses in 3 directions away from the party. It was so loud that it was heard from Lake Orion, Michigan, 3.5 miles away in Oxford. People were coming from miles because they could hear the stereo.
Oh wow, that's crazy. So you took car amps and amped them.
Yes, and I built my own cabinets. I had 2 of Tiger Stadium's old dispersion chambers that I used to mount the drivers on. There was no MIDI, and those 15-inch JBLs were the only speakers made that could handle it. But every now and then, I'd blow the little cone off in the middle of those even. They'd fly across the room like a Frisbee. Right?
Holy shit. Yeah. Yeah, my best friend's dad used to build stereos, but he did it all out of Radio Shack. These fucking things would go Radio Shack woofers and tweeters, and they used to crank, man.
Yeah, they had some badass shit back in the day.
Yeah, they had real badass shit. You go in there and he'd be working on a set of 15-inch woofers and making boxes and hooking them up and just killing it.
You remember when Pioneers had problems with their amps and preamps? Hell, you go into Radio Shack and you buy their amps and preamps, and they were better and lasted longer than the shit that was made for it.
Oh yeah. Radio Shack was a bomb.
I spent $10,000 on the system alone. Had 2 DOD 32-band equalizers. It was Technics wing antenna, Technics and Onkyo turntables. I did it for DJing, but MTV killed my whole gig because I was hard rock, and that's all I really liked to do. I didn't want to play no MTV stuff when that came out.
Right, you're playing heavy metal.
Yeah, it kind of took that genre away for the DJing business at that time.
Yeah, I remember MTV come out. We were already listening to Motley Crue and
oh fuck! I was already listening to Zeppelin and Ozzy and Scorpions. And
yeah, we were listening to all that, but I remember what Motley Crue. You remember when it was like a black label and there were a buddy of mine, his brother was like 3 years older than us, and he'd run around and go on roadie rides, and they'd end up hitting all these no-name bands and riding, and he'd come back with a bunch of tapes and passed them out to us, and we were like listening to this shit before it even got on the radio.
People today got it made. I had to carry like 500 pounds in albums with me to each gig. You'd have 2 turntables so you could segue from one song to the other by lifting. It was a whole complicated, different deal than it is today.
Yeah,
back then it was an art, man.
I remember my granddaughter here a few years ago seeing Vicky's vinyl, and she goes, "Mama, them are some big CDs."
That's great.
Well, what's everybody going to do over the weekend?
Well, I was supposed to be at the casino tonight, but
I gotta get my ass to a pot store. That's what I gotta do.
Yeah, I took the old lady out to breakfast the other day, and we were eating and found out they had video poker machines in there, and I heard them, and I had a feeling. Usually when I got a feeling, I get on them, and I usually good for about $1,500, $2,500, and I just never got on it.
Yeah, we go and just play blackjack. No, not blackjack. Roulette. Roulette.
I like roulette, and I like
Go ahead and snort it.
playing. What's the other one? That what the hell they call it? We give you 2 cards in Texas Hold'em.
Texas Hold'em. Yeah, I can do that. I can do that.
I love roulette.
Back in those days, Jay, there were certain songs that it was way harder on your speaker systems, like NIB by Black Sabbath. If you were to crank that on a normal stereo, you'd blow the speakers right away.
Yep. Damn, I forgot about Sabbath. Yep.
Yeah, you come here.
That's the best bass lick ever. That part where it goes do 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 do. If you listen to that on a real good system, there's no better way to test your stereo.
See, she's gonna do it. See, it's okay. You can do it too. Juan, get out of there. Leave that boy alone.
Oh, talk. I'm trying to figure out who's talking, man.
Oh no, it's I got one of the pups here. This Gunner right here. If I can get him to come into camera view, but Juan is being a little bit of a prick to him, because he's the new dog in the house, you know. And
I might be able to get their attention.
Yeah,
I might.
Yeah.
Bonnie's been quiet. Bonnie, did you fall asleep?
She's muted.
No, I didn't fall asleep.
I ain't heard you in a while. And I asked her, I was like, something happened to Bonnie? He's like, she probably fell asleep or she's just not paying attention.
Stephanie's been quiet too.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yes, it is.
I kept betting in, and I was
Can you make Hawk big so I can see them puppies?
Oh.
That didn't sound right, Carl.
I was gonna say, man.
I said, I don't have them kind of puppies.
And I don't know if I want the job of making Hawk get big either.
Where you at? Come here. Come here.
You see one of them little dudes.
Oh, okay. Come here. Come here. I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm over here. Come on. Oh, there we go.
Hawk, you got one in the middle. It's got the same colors like our gold one. We got the 2 oddballs out of the group, the solid black and the solid tan with black in it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a couple of them there that know they're being watched.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Yeah. This is Gunner right here. He's only 3.5 months old. He's huge. Huge.
Yeah, every white dog hawk usually have their camera hogs. I don't know if you notice, they kind of look up like they know the camera's there.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, good boy. Yes, you are. You're getting good. Yeah, I had the dickens of a time getting him to come inside, though. You know, it was like, no. He's like, I need to stay on the porch. And I have a heater out there. And, you know, so it's not like they ever got cold or anything like that. It was that, you know, the big dogs just, a couple of them would come in at a time, and the big dogs would be okay with it. But if all of them came in at the same time, the big dogs would just go crazy. You know, they're like, no, get out of here, all of you.
He likes the perimeter watch thing.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he's finally making himself at home. Samson, he's back there on the beds. So it's like it's like he doesn't care if anybody wants to see him or not. I got a bed. I'm not moving.
Yeah,
kind of thing. You know. So.
Nobody's over here. Works for me.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm gonna step down. Thanks for having me up. Good
Later,
to see you,
Jay.
Hawk.
All right, brothers. Good to see you, man.
Later,
Yeah, tell everybody over there I said hi.
Camo. I sure will.
I'll get back on a schedule here pretty soon.
At least I just got to let Krista Kraft know.
Yeah, it's just
There
a
has
lot of
been
things
a
going on
sighting.
farm-wise that I've had to watch out for and everything, so it's taken a lot of time and it's like trying to stay on a schedule to make sure that those pumps are running and everything. It's good thing is we've had yesterday and today we've had no rain, and we're not supposed to get any rain this weekend, so I might be able to do something by Monday. I'm hoping.
Andy.
Cool. Keep an eye out for you, brother.
All right, brother.
Jay, I've been keeping an eye on Hawk. I know he's still alive.
Taco.
Later, bro.
What's up, Indy?
Hey, Andy, you found us.
I think she was in here earlier, I thought, but
she was live.
Might have been somewhere else I saw her.
Yeah, she was live not too long ago.
Yeah,
I went in there for a bit, then I went into where the music, everybody's watching music and hung out, and then I ended up, Bonnie got a hold of me and said now, so I jumped on. You can have some.
That's it, Bonnie. His wife's going to be in contact with you. Can you tell me your secret?
We talk to each other all the time. She's telling me how to handle him.
Yeah, it's 45 out there now. It's like, I think we're going to start dropping. And then somebody said middle of next week it's going to get hot and cold again.
Yes.
Okay, so normally I do not see geese here until at least the middle of March.
Yep.
But we had geese flying north yesterday.
We had some of that too, man. They don't know what to do.
Yep.
And it's going to end up trapping them and killing a bunch of them. I think that's their intention. They like hit multiple things with one stone.
Yeah, because we know we're going to have a freeze again, and all the vegetation is acting like it's spring.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was an owl that's native only to Canada and the Arctic, and that damn thing was in California.
And then the east is getting snowstorms like crazy.
Yeah. Give me a second. I'll be back in a second. I'm going to run a good cup of hot cocoa.
All right. I still got one beet that's made it through. It's still out there growing. I've left it alone to see how long it's going to strive.
I'm going to get a cup of hot cocoa, guys.
Yeah, that's my tomato. Well, now it's starting to break down blooms, and so I'm going to get more tomatoes. I guess if it starts to freeze again, I'll bring it inside again, and it seems to do okay in the house too.
Start you a planter with where you get the evening sun and put them over there in it, where they have a window where they can get sun there, and start them inside. And once it warms up, you can
yeah.
I've thought about doing tomatoes that way.
That's how I did my tomatoes and peppers. And the peppers, they couldn't handle that one little freeze we had. But tomatoes are pretty hardy, I guess.
Yeah, they're nightshade. I think nightshades are supposed to be. I think they're a nightshade, ain't they? Potatoes.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes are nightshade.
I think they might be too, but that's what just keeps growing. They just.
Yeah, that freeze we got, that 6 hours when the power was out here, and it took my light bulbs out from under my little teepees I made for them, the greenhouse.
Uh-huh.
That 6 hours enough to kill everything. I was still picking tomatoes out of that.
Did water seep into the lighting fixture? What killed it? The wind? What?
Power went out for 6 hours.
Oh.
I was maintaining it even when it was down to 10, 15 degrees. The two lights I had in there would keep it about between 45 and 55 degrees, no matter how cold it was.
See, I had brought mine in the house before the freeze hit, and I guess that's why they're still alive.
Hell, I don't even think get them tubs through a doorway.
Yeah, those are pretty big. Mine are 5 gallon. I
Yeah, you can
seriously think they do better in the house. And when we move, I think that 3rd bedroom's going to be used for some things.
Yeah, have you a good window opening in there, and then get you a grow light.
You want to go over in the house?
Yeah.
That's what's smoking in the house.
Why?
Because you kill them.
I don't think cigarette smoke will kill them. I think that gives them carbon monoxide.
Oh, we won't. I won't. We won't be smoking in the house.
It'll kill them.
Cigarette ashes are for the plants.
I don't know.
Smoke ain't good for the plants.
We're not going to smoke in the house, period.
Tomatoes, potatoes, and tobacco are nightshades.
Ash is good at all, good in general as growth.
The deadly nightshade was used as a poison.
Yep.
Yep.
It's either a greenhouse or inside the house. I'm not going to leave them out in the open anymore.
Yeah, I want to build a greenhouse. I'm going to try to start keeping my eyes open on Facebook, looking for trampoline frames.
Did you know that a couple 100 years ago, a lot of people thought tomatoes were poison?
Yep. They thought they were poison berries.
Yep.
They're a fruit that they call a vegetable. So, yeah, definitely. All these plants and flowers are going stupid. The grass tried to come in again, and then we got cold and then had all this rain come through. Now it's all flat.
We've got something here in Michigan called leeks, which is like a wild onion. And that stuff, you can find it under the snow. It grows year round.
We have those by the water, the rivers and stuff.
That's good stuff. There's times where I've gone years without having to buy onions because I had so many wild leeks around here.
I know Appalachia, they got what they call ramps. I don't know if that falls into a leek category or not, or if that's just a wild onion. But a lot of them people, they go out and hunt wild ramps just to make like fried potatoes and stuff with.
The thing about that is like with wild carrots, wild carrots looks just like Queen Anne's lace, which is deadly poisonous. If you were to mix the two up, it could kill you. But all you got to know is that a wild carrot actually smells like carrot. If you take the tuber up and break it, it'll smell exactly like a carrot, only it'll be like white colored and smaller. And those are good for you. And they're tasty, but just know what you're doing.
All right, Indy, you're welcome to come up if you want.
So you know how you make hot cocoa and then you'll put a little bit of milk in at the end just to make sure it's cool enough to be able to drink, to start sipping it right away. Well, I tried French vanilla creamer.
How'd that work?
Oh, real good.
Like putting ice cream in it?
Yeah. It's like, wow.
Almost as good if you had some Irish cream to dump in it, huh?
I haven't drank alcohol in so long. It's I've almost forgotten what the effects of alcohol could do to a body.
Yeah, my son's got a bottle of Jägermeister, and on New Year's Eve, everybody was toasting, so I went and grabbed it and took me a couple big swigs out of it. I got a buzz for a few minutes. It was like, oh, that feels pretty decent. And then I was like, the hell with that. I feel horrible.
Mm-hmm.
No, it made you feel crappy later?
Yep.
Oh.
That was over a 20, 30-minute period. Didn't take me long, Carl. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think maybe I'll just learn from your mistake.
I love toast with hot chocolate.
You know what? So do I. Buttered toast with hot chocolate. It makes a unique taste you can't get anywhere else.
That's okay, Indy.
Well, that's why
I know it. I love that, Carl.
That's why a bunch of the old people, when they used to make hot chocolate, they put like about a tablespoon of cold butter in it.
Yeah, to give it a
Yeah,
little
the
butter.
buttered toast is better.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people they use fresh cream in it. That's where they get the butteriness from. That way, if you just have milk, put a little butter to give it the creaminess.
I love toast with my oatmeal too.
Wyatt, how come you sometimes you sound like a 60-year-old wise man?
I know a lot, and I don't like showing it, but
He sits back and chills too.
He's my mellowest kid I got.
Besides Andrew,
He's got wisdom beyond his years.
That's like Andrew. He's 16 and he thinks more like my mom and dad do than we do.
Yeah, him and Wyatt both got old souls.
All his buddies and stuff, they're talking all that libtard shit, and he told them they're morons.
I was trying to hit my pipe when you said that.
Yeah, that's
And all these kids, he plays on the Roblox and what's the other game? Well, different ones. You can hear them in there, and they'll be, I guess, patting Joe Biden, and he's like, "No, that idiot's a moron. You guys are stupid."
yeah. I love to hear shit like that. You know, it's to know that the younger generation is starting to wake up is that's a pleasuresome thing. You know,
Yeah,
it needs to be. It needs to be done. You know.
And more kids his age are waking up, and they're not liking what they see.
I heard him tell one kid in there the other day, I guess he picked it up from me, but he was like, if there was so many, all these different genders, then how come when they go for surgery, they got choice male or female?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And, you know, and this is I'll do a little plug for Janet Osbard, the lady who did the Fall Cabal series. She did a kids version of that is waking up so many kids from the age of 7 to the age of 12, you know, maybe 15, wise, broken down in a way that the kids can understand it. She's got it up on BitChute. And it's so far it's 5 parts, but it's all for the kids to watch, you know, and to learn. And I'll tell you, the kids that I've turned on to this have been sending, you know, messages. Oh my, did you know about? And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's it's like I'm a few years ahead of you here, guys. You know, but. You know, I just encourage them to look at more and look at more and look at more, you know, because they are going to be the saviors. They are going to be their own saviors of their generation. You know, the ones who are going to come forward and have information as these kids are beginning to ask more and more questions. And, you know, and the thing is we've got to have a way to be able to communicate with them on their own level sometimes. You know, they're not going to understand the big words that we know today. You know, so it's got to be broken down, you know, so that it's something that can go into their mind and can sit there and can fester in a way that makes them want to look for more and more information on it. You know, so hats off to Janet Osbard for doing that and the Fall Cabal crew. They put a great production together. Great. I mean, really, really good. You know.
Thanks, Chuck, and got it now, Indy. I just put mine in the back chat room too, if anybody else wants it.
Yeah, I remember you said it was backwards, so.
I appreciate that you're doing that, Chuck, because I can't nab anything off of chat or out of a chat, or I can't, not on the phone, you know.
What was that you were just talking about? What's it called?
Fall Cabal for kids.
Cabal?
Fall Cabal for kids.
What is it?
Ball.
You know, I was watching that Fall of the Cabal, and it's like the last few episodes changed, like it's different people doing it or something.
I'm trying to teach my granddaughter all this stuff. She's 4. She'll be 5 in June.
Yeah,
she's learning.
I would say it's kind of like an age 7 to an age 15.
Okay.
variation there, information wise. It doesn't overload them, but it gets them questioning things. And that's exactly what we want. We want, it's like looking at science, questioning science. You should always question science.
Yes.
If there's no fact or peer-reviewed documentation to support certain things, then it's not science, it's BS.
Yep. Always question anything, especially when they come at you with a pointy or sharp thing.
Yep. Or something loaded.
Yeah.
I've been through that quite a few times.
Yeah. But I mean, I know adults. And this is, and I'm not trying to waylay anybody or anything like that, but I know adults that could watch the kids' version of this and learn a hell of a lot more than anything that they've learned from mainstream media in the last 30 to 50 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty bad. When you send them to watch Sesame Street for adults, I mean, that's basically some people have to be taught in that sense. It's the only way that
Dumbing down.
They still don't get it.
The dumbing down of America was successful.
Oh, absolutely. It started in the 1960s, the 70s. The breakup of the nuclear families began, and that was the start of it all.
Yep.
That's they succeeded in their goal there. They succeeded in their goal. Now, as to whether we allow it to continue or not is up to us. That's the thing, and people need to know that, and they need to understand that we are the red line. We are that final red line that, and we are already on the precipice. And let me tell you, if an adult goes over the precipice, believe me, there's going to be a lot of people going down with them, because of the fact that more and more people are waking up on a daily basis, so all we can do is just keep pushing, getting people thinking about things, getting people researching things, getting people to look at new things and get a different perspective of it. And, and we have to continue to encourage that because as long as we're encouraging it, then we're giving them the incentive to want to move forward. As soon as we stop encouraging them from moving forward, then they are going to slope back. They're going to slide back to a point where they're probably not going to get back up. So it does. It falls on our shoulders as people who have taken the time to research for ourselves, to educate ourselves, to learn as much as possible, see things for what they are, and begin to open other people's eyes. We have to be there for them. We have to. It is our human duty.
You were the first one out of the entire community that I've heard say that we've got to keep from saying "I told you so."
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, because the "I told you so" is the shut-off spout. It's a shut-off spout. It's the spigot. You turn it on to get the water to come out. As soon as you say "I told you so," you might as well go ahead and turn that faucet because you just turned them off. They're not willing to listen to anybody anymore.
Yeah.
And that's not what we're about.
I almost put that on Facebook because a friend, when this all first started, she's a nurse, and she was really going off on people who wouldn't take the pokey if they came into the hospital, that we were killing people, we were the devil. And now with all that going on, I was like, remember when you said this, and are we celebrating that people are just falling over on football fields and basketball courts? No, we are praying for those people. We can't do that.
No, we have to be better.
No way would we that people are dying, that's just horrible. We feel
The
for
second
them.
commandment was to love one another as we want to be loved.
Yes.
That's the second one. The first one was love your God with all your heart, your soul, your might.
Yep.
Okay. And the second was to love one another with the same level, and and by giving them that I told you so is doing the exact opposite of what that commandment is.
India, check my emails when I get off of here. I can't do anything when I'm on the panel. If I touch anything, I'll be gone.
And it's frustrating, when I see people, it's like, one of the reasons I took a step back, and I've said this a few times, fall cabal, FALL.
Oh.
Cabal.
What are they up to now? I think I've seen, 25, 26 of them, something like that.
25 or 26 now. Yep.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like I've watched them all, but the last couple ones felt like somebody else was doing them. Have you noticed that?
Well, she's got another lady who's helping her do them too.
But it's the same people, though. I should be okay with that?
Yeah, it is the same people. Yeah.
Well, it's not that we're okay with it, Carl. It's just that we can't judge them. We can't condemn them. We can't. That's not our job. That's his.
Yep.
And
yep. Well, it's this question. If anybody's watched The Chosen,
yes.
The TV series.
I'm waiting for episode 7, season 3 right now.
Okay. Well, 7 and 8 aren't going to be coming out until February 5th. Just so you know that they're on a 2-week hiatus.
That's a long time. Darn.
Yeah, they're on a 2-week hiatus. But episode 3 of the first season was Jesus Loves the Little Children. Okay.
Yes.
And he had the kids out there, and then he said to the kid, he asked him some religious questions. Does anybody know this particular part of the Torah? And then they started reciting it and everything else, and then the next day the kids were coming back, and he was asking them questions, and he explained it, the line of vengeance is mine, says the Lord, in a way that an adult sitting there while a child is asking a question, even the adult is going to understand the answer, but the child is going to flourish from the answer. You know what I mean? And, we have to remember that, judge not. It's not our place. He said to those kids, it's not your place to judge. Whose place is it? And what is, and who gets vengeance? And the little girl, the youngest girl, says, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. It's not for us to do it. It's for us to forgive and let God deal with them as he sees fit. Because if he believes that needs to be some type of earthly justice, he's going to deliver it. He's going to make their lives miserable. Okay? But if it's a heavenly justice, then again, that's out of our hands. That's for him to make that decision. It's not ours. Our job is to forgive, but not to forget. Because we have to learn from the lessons, that we get when somebody screws us over or somebody does us bad. We have to learn from that. We have to learn to forgive, but not to forget. But in the not forgetting part, it doesn't mean that we hold it over their head, saying, "Well, you did this before. You did this before." Because when you approach people with that type of mentality, what are they going to do? They're going to revert back to their bad behavior.
Yeah. And I've seen in court Just recently, the guy that murdered those college kids, and they were in court, and the parents were sitting there and they were saying, "I forgive you," and it's because they had to for themselves.
Yep. Because you're not going to get past the anger, the hate, and everything else. It's a cycle. You know, hate and anger that work together. And it gets into such a repetition that it does more damage to the victim or those who have been victimized than it does to those who did the bad deed to begin with. Because you wallow in that victimhood.
Hey, Trillium.
You get rid of the victimhood, and at that point there, you begin to understand where God's grace comes down on you and builds you back up and builds you better. You know, not a build back better, but a spiritual better. You know, and you get to move forward while that person is stuck in their loop. You know, because you think about it, somebody does something to you, you get pissed off, right? And then you get mad at yourself for getting that mad at that person.
I've been both sides of that coin.
Yeah, I get pissed. I get mad at myself for letting somebody piss me off like that.
Yep, and then you're back to being mad at them again, and then you're back to being mad at yourself again. It's a cycle, and it keeps going. You could be angry with somebody for 6 months because they dropped a dozen of eggs at your door. You know, and you shouldn't be. Although eggs are pretty, you know.
Yeah, like I said, I've been on both sides of that coin for almost 10 years. I hold a grudge against somebody when I was a teenager that sucker punched me in the back of the head getting on a bus.
And you can't let stupid shit guide you. Just
And I know I've done stupid shit like that, cause problems for other people. The hardest thing is to ask for their forgiveness.
Yep. Yep. And the thing is, you know, asking and getting forgiveness is only fulfilled if a change is made.
Yep.
You know, you know it when the next time you see that person and they are a better person, you know, because of it. Not because they hurt your feelings with words, you know, but because of the fact that, you know, that again, you were the victim and you refused to stay in that victimhood. You gave the forgiveness and then you walked away from that and you got to move forward. Your life was transformed by God to be better, while that person in even though he knows that you forgave him, is still stuck in his guilt. Yes. And that guilt can be a cycle no different and no better than the hate and anger cycle. You know, they have to allow themselves to become a better person. It's hard for some people to make that decision. It's hard for some people to let go of those things that they've been clinging onto, thinking that that is their strongest ability or the best thing in their life. Sorry, but manipulating people is not the best thing in life.
Like they say, it's the hardest thing to pull yourself out of a pit of despair.
Mm-hmm.
So, like they usually say, it's hardest to pull yourself out of the pit of despair.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I love that old saying about a wild thing never felt sorry for itself. A wild thing would fall dead from the bow of a ship without ever feeling sorry for itself.
Yep. Well, you know, you think about the wildlife. You know, think about the critters out there. You know, think about your dogs. You know, through all the years, you know, that we've got accumulated and everything else. How many of you had a dog that went off to someplace private on your property and died?
Yep.
You know, well, do you understand why the dog goes off by itself?
I think
it's not because it wants to die alone. It's that it doesn't want you to hurt when it passes.
Yeah.
And kind of like the Indians and all used to do. It's just a natural thing.
Yeah, they would go off and do their death dance and in their death and then their death song, you know, and they would be out by themselves alone, you know, and then one of the elders would go out and find them eventually, and then they would give them a burial, you know, so it's like, it's a cycle of life, you know. But you think about it, you know, when a dog goes off and does that, he cares about your feelings more than you care about your feelings.
Yeah.
You know, when that dog sits there and looks up at you when you're sad, and he looks up at you like, dude, you know, I don't know why you're sad, but I want you to be happy, you know, because, you know, me and you are friends, you know, and I want you to be happy, you know. And I'll nudge your hand, and I'll nudge your knee, and I'll put my head on your lap, or I'll put my paw up there. You know, it's because I'm trying to get you happy. I'm trying to get you to focus on me instead of the bad thing that's going on in your life right now.
That's why
that with Chuck.
That cat we got, he's like, yeah, me, I'll be pissed off. He'll get away from me for a minute, but as soon as I sit chill, he'll come over and rub on me. Next thing he's up in my lap trying to look me in the eye. And
yeah, I'm your friend, pal. I'm your friend. Love on me. Love on me. Get rid of that anger. You know, it's like we were talking before about depression being that first 20 pounds of weight that a person puts on. You know, it's and people don't. That's and I'm saying that metaphorically, but the thing is the symptoms that are created because of that can create a serious obesity problem or a serious self-starvation problem. You know,
it's with kids and animals. If your kid comes in the house with a cut finger and the mother goes, "Oh my God, he's bleeding," the kid's going to freak out and start crying and stuff. If the dad sees it, goes, "You'll be all right, go walk it off," the kid's like, "Oh, wow, look, I'm bleeding."
Dad, go rub some dirt on it and go play, boy.
There you go.
That reminds me of when my youngest brother was little. I busted him in the right at the bridge of his nose, and instead of freaking out, I acted like he was going to be okay. And like, "What'd you do?" And he just looked at me like, "Huh?" Instead of freaking out, my mom's over here. She thought I busted his head open.
I remember him, though. The bad thing about him, as long as he had a wash rag, I believe he could have dealt with a hand cut off. He'd wrap a wash rag around everything and walk around with it.
That's the way I am. And I always have to have the wet wash rag.
Yeah, that's him, buddy.
When I was having
if I ever cut my hand off, give me a cigarette to hold in the other one, and I'll be all right.
There you go. Right.
Oh, Lord, but let Cody see with a bottle of peroxide or alcohol. Like, oh, shit, he'd lose it. Then he didn't want no part of that.
But don't mess with my thumb because I can't light my lighter.
Yeah. I remember Mom breaking out that they call it monkey's blood, mercurochrome, whatever that stuff is.
Oh, I remember mercurochrome real well.
It's like, give me the alcohol. I'd rather have that. That shit's like, okay, let me put this lighter fluid on. Hold a match against it.
I'd prefer salt and lemon over mercurochrome.
Yeah.
I got to the point where that stuff didn't even affect me when I used it.
I don't even know if we still
have active word, mercury.
Not called that anymore.
Yeah.
That mom had a little bottle of stuff she called Coca-Cola syrup in there. When your stomach was messed up, diarrhea, constipation, any of it, it'd fix whatever it was. It was horrible. Tastes like super strong Coke without the fizz to it.
Yeah, I remember something like that.
I do too.
What was that?
She called it
Coca-Cola in a brown glass bottle.
Yep.
Yep.
I still can't do that pink stuff.
Pepto.
Yeah, I can't do that. Can't do it. That chalk.
Me neither.
That
no
chalk
milk and magnesia here.
Yeah. It just sends my stomach. It's like it goes about halfway down and then it's right back up.
Sometimes that might be the best thing for it, though, huh?
Yeah.
I lived on Pepto for almost 2 years because I couldn't figure out what was wrong
Well,
with
I
my
can't
stomach.
hold that stuff down. But now it's going to bug me till I figure out what that brown bottle was.
Y'all may not remember, but there used to be this stuff that you could go to the drugstore and get it if you were 18 or over. You had to sign for it, and it was Pectin or something like that, and it worked like instantly. But the reason that they made you sign for it and you had to be 18 was because it had opium in it, and then they took the opium out and sold it in stores because it still worked, and you can't find it anywhere anymore. Parapectin or something like that.
Paragork?
No. That's an acid, isn't it?
I think it's something that made you puke. I think.
No, this was some kind of a pectin, I think.
That's it.
I can't remember exactly what it was called, but for years that's what we used, and then they took it off the market.
I've never heard of that one, Bonnie.
They took it off the market when, what's the one that starts with an M?
Malox?
Metamucil?
Malox. Is Malox a
Stomach thing.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of that thing if anybody wants to look at it. Carl, I don't know if you can see your camera or your.
I gotta get out of chat. I was just seeing what. That looks like it. What is that called?
Coca-Cola syrup. And it's from a pharmacy. It's got a little pharmacy label on it.
Gee, that didn't taste nothing good. There was no get that stuff. And Tennessee Ridge Runner, my mom got smart. She didn't show me the bottle. She gave me a little cup of something.
Yeah, there's no carbonation to it.
No,
So-
and it was real thick, and I think it didn't have sugar in it. I remember it'd cure it up. It either make you puke or settle it, but that's the way Alka-Seltzer goes. A lot of people with upset stomach, flu, whatever. They were take it; it'll make you feel better. I said, no, what it does, as soon as it goes down, I puke it up, and then I feel better.
Remember the bubblegum syrup?
Bubblegum syrup. The hell
Shit,
is that?
that cold medicine.
Oh, you're talking about antibiotics that the doctors give kids.
Penicillin.
I watched a gal that was over pregnant. She went to the doctor 10 days in a row with false alarms. On the 10th time into the hospital, the doctor said, go home and drink some castor oil. She went back home, drank 1 cup of castor oil, and was back at the hospital having her baby.
Huh.
I had a friend who heard about that, and she wasn't due yet, and she wouldn't listen to anybody, and she drank 2 bottles of that stuff. And it didn't make her go into labor, but I was like, are you stupid or what?
That's messed up.
I bet it cleaned her out good, huh?
You cannot keep that stuff on the shelf at work.
Yeah, Carl, I imagine that girl, she shot it out halfway across the hospital.
That's not.
I was just thinking the one that didn't work, the kid was probably born into a world of shit.
That's not even funny because my Thomas was born on the elevator, coming down. You know, after. So I took Jen to the hospital. You know, we loaded up the Bronco. We headed over there, and I had an old 86 Bronco. Drove her over, bumpy ride all the way to the hospital. Right.
Yeah.
Water's broke. Okay. And she goes in, and the doctor tells her to go home. She's not ready. She's not dilated enough. We get on the elevator, and he says, uh-oh. Now we're going down. She's in the back corner of the elevator. Thomas's head is in my hands. Okay. And I'm like this with my feet. Like this with my feet, kicking back, trying to hit the buttons to stop the fucking elevator. and to get back up there. Every time the elevator door is open, I'm yelling, help, 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 help. And then the doors are closing.
And no help.
Born on the elevator. And I delivered it right there on the elevator. We got down to the floor where the emergency room was, and they just happened to be bringing a patient on. Well, they ended up not bringing the patient on, but a nurse jumped on with us and went back up with us. And she just kept patting me on the shoulder. Good job, good job, good job. Good job.
Childbirth is a trip, man. I pulled the child out of somebody. I cut the umbilical cord. I moved the placenta aside and looked at it going, what in the world was that? That was the first thing a child seen in this world, too. That's a wild experience.
Yeah.
Did you have to smack her to cry automatically?
It cried automatically.
Just think
But
there's somebody out there is like thinking, seeing your face like, Daddy.
Yeah, that was it.
You know, I didn't expect that weird-looking, colorful jellyfish to come with it.
Yeah, Rudy wasn't born in a hospital. He was born on the side of the road in the rain. My dad there was a snowstorm. Dad had to stop.
You know, that ought to be scary in the middle of a snowstorm, have a baby in the back of a car.
Yeah, my brother was born the 23rd of December. My dad was taking my mom to the hospital in the middle of a blizzard. They had to pull over because the baby, he was coming. So my dad had to deliver him. And luckily a tow truck or a plow was coming down the road. My dad stopped them. They plowed away from my dad all the way to the hospital.
Cool.
It's, and it's seldom that you find really good people like that.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be a time that everybody was like that, but now, you see somebody broke down on the side of the road. It's like, no, I ain't stopping it. You just never know what's going to happen.
That showed it too. You remember that video with the little boy in the gym that had the Mayo stuff from the pokey, and he fell out, and all these people just flipped their phones out and look. Nobody dropped to help him. Everybody just put a phone on him.
Yeah.
And back
I got a video there. I'll get great views on TikTok for this.
The last episode of Seinfeld. Remember that, anybody? Where they just watched the mugging happen and they all went to jail for it?
Yeah, I remember that now.
I guess I missed it.
I thought you were going to referencing the Soup Nazi at first.
No, the last episode showed how much of assholes all four of them really were.
Wow.
Yeah, useless, not willing to help anybody.
Uh-huh.
I couldn't do that.
I've noticed that in real life. Very few people will step up.
I help. I won't pull over on the side of the road for him. I had too much shit going on. People getting shot and they stealing cars. And
well, that too.
I remember when we left Detroit. It was 72, and we were on our way to Hannah and Elmo, Wyoming. We just hit the Wyoming border, and we ended up blowing a flat. And we had a big one of those big panel window vans, a Plymouth yellow van. Okay? My dad was out changing the tire, and his hat blew off. And my sister Cheryl wanted to run out into traffic and get his hat back, but somebody on the other side of the highway, an old lady, she stopped and picked up the hat and then made her way across the highway to give my dad back his hat.
Wow.
And it was like, it's funny the things that we remember,
Yeah.
and how kind people were to each other. And how out of the way people would go for each other. And today, we don't see that at all.
No, if you're down here by Detroit and you wave at somebody, they're going to think you're out after something. You go up north, and everybody's waving at you. You don't even know them. You can drive down the road, they just wave when you go by.
Yep.
Totally different, two different worlds.
Yeah, I get that here. It's like I've been here for 7 years, and I only personally know 3 of my neighbors, but everybody who drives by waves. You know, everybody. You know, and to me that's kind of cool. You know, that's happening. You know, but at the same point is, you know, why don't you guys ever stop and say hi and introduce yourselves? You know,
yeah, a neighborhood barbecue or.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd carry salt. I'd carry towing straps and chains and rope and all kinds of stuff. And some years I might pull 15, 20 people out of the ditch up north just because I had the truck that could do it. I didn't ever charge nobody nothing. It didn't ever take much work to do it, you know, but boy, people really appreciate it.
Yeah.
The only help we ever did charging when I was up in Ohio during the winter was we'd all bunch of us get up and go to the wealthy neighborhoods and shovel their driveways. Instead of them having to get out there, we'd catch a bunch of driveways, about 6 or 8 of us, before we went into work. And we'd work for tips, or they'd ask how much. And I said, well, so-and-so paid us this, and your driveway's bigger, smaller, whatever. And they were always willing to pay well just so they didn't have to do it.
No, that doesn't mean put your head on my lap and think you're going to get more. It means go away. I'm done with you. Go on, go lay down, Barry. Go on. Come on, you big boy.
But this is how it works, Dad.
Yeah, I know.
But then
and what's crazy is as soon as he walks away, another one comes up and takes his place. You know?
Yeah.
My turn.
Yeah.
Oh, when I was a teenager, I used to go around helping everybody with lawns and all that stuff. Nowadays, you don't see anybody doing that unless it's a lawn service.
Yeah.
And they ain't out to help anybody.
My main thing was getting out there and helping the elderly couples.
I have to pay $100 to get half an acre mowed.
How much?
$100
For half.
It doesn't mean you get to come to the other side and get the other hand. Okay? No, it doesn't.
Between your driveway and your house is probably not even a quarter acre. They really cut though.
Nope.
Yeah, the front yard is little bitty, but it's the back. I call it the back 20.
Yeah.
That's what they don't want to mow, but it's there's no rock, there's nothing there. It's just grass. There's a brush pile, but that's pretty obvious. You don't hit the brush pile. It's not riding mowers. This one little man, he charged me $85, and he was doing it all with a push mower, and I felt so bad for him because he was elderly, and I kept giving him drinks, so Gatorade and water, and he finally told me after about the 3rd time, "I'm sorry, I can't do this anymore." And I said, "I totally understand. For the push mower, it's a lot, and it's sloped. So when you go back, you're going uphill." And Willie D.
All right, guys. Well, I got to jump off here. It's 11:30. I got to be up at 6. You guys have
Good
talking to you, Hawk.
Appreciate you coming up, man. Welcome anytime.
Thank you. All right. You guys have a great night. We'll see you again soon.
See you later, bud. Stephanie, you still there?
I don't know if she fell asleep or hopefully she's okay.
Is she disconnected or?
I hear something. I think she's having tech issues.
I thought that was Chuck's background.
Hey, Willie.
It might be.
You're quiet.
Amen.
Huh?
It ain't me, that's mom.
Yeah, I guess I'll close it down too. Y'all want to chit chat in the back for a minute? I got to take Wyatt in the morning.
Oh, I didn't know that, Chuck. I'm sorry.
No, it ain't early. I got to be there at like 10:30.
Good night, chat. Hey, Willie D, what's up?
I wouldn't have made you go live.
No, I'm just looking at the time and I wasn't paying attention to it.
Well, everybody falling asleep earlier.
I done slept some, but it might take some work to go back to sleep.
Janet, my mom is doing so good. She was flirting with the mobile home salesman today, and he was just odd that she has a motorcycle and her truck. Indy, I don't know if I can do that.
You need to start drinking it.
Hell, well, you might as well if you ain't tired.
I kind of am. I mean,
Who said that?
taking care of my stepdad today
Really strong grape juice.
all day kind of wore me out.
Tastes that because when you mix it with something.
Hey, Kim. Hey, Janet.
Hey, Janet. Thank y'all for showing up. Y'all have a blessed night. We'll probably come on tomorrow night if y'all want to sit around and hang out. You guys always remember it. You're welcome to come up anytime. Much love, and then let everybody say bye to y'all. Happy birthday, Willie.
If you don't go
Happy
live,
birthday, Willie D, youngster.
well, happy birthday, Willie D. He is a youngin'.
Don't you know?
Yeah, don't you know?
Well, we'll see you guys later. Good night, y'all. Good night, Willie from Wisconsin. Don't you know? Bye.
Love y'all. Y'all keep an eye out tomorrow night.
One of us will be up.